Well, I guess it's quite a cocktail that we managed to put together. We had a wonderful building which we inherited. We had a very sympathetic developer who was happy to work with us and accept some of our slightly more wacky ideas. I'm very fortunate that I managed to identify an interior designer and a graphic designer who were prepared to put over with a very overbearing, pompous and dictatorial person in charge, who was me, and they're still talking to me, which is quite a miracle, really. You don't often get in your career a chance to create something from scratch with such wonderful raw material. We're in a great street. Manchester's had some reasonable quality hotels for some time with nothing with real colour and verve to it. So it's playful, it's fun, it's decadent, it's over the top, it's ostentatious, it's slightly camp, but then Manchester is all of those things as well. And thankfully we managed to put all that into the blender and make this nice little heady cocktail which seemed to be doing okay. Well, I think what we wanted to do was just settle it down and make sure that attention to detail stayed in place and we weren't just a one-night stand. I think we are there now. I think we have got a decent culture that's been created and that hopefully is self-perpetuating. In terms of the expansion in Manchester, we're hoping to go down into the basement. We've discovered a space below which I think will turn into a private screening room and a party space. We've spoken to an awful lot of people about rolling Gothams out in other cities. With great respect to Swindon and Shrewsbury, I don't really see those two towns as being the place to take the concept. But I do think Amsterdam, Gotham, Glasgow, Gotham, Dublin, Gotham, Madrid, and so on could be quite interesting. So if we can find the right buildings and the right development partners, that's what we're planning to do. We've kissed quite a few frogs in London, still haven't found a prince, but we'll keep going. I'm sure there's one there somewhere. I think London's quite pivotal what we're trying to do. But with a fair wind, we might have 5 or 6 of them, and we'll see where the wind takes us at that point. It tends to go in cycles. I think this particular cycle's probably got 1 or 2 significant bits of consolidation still to go. It's quite interesting to see some of the smaller business like 25 Hours being bought by Accor recently. So I see more of that taking place. But every time a big company buys a smaller one, another small company pops up with a different angle. So I don't see it necessarily being an unhealthy thing, but I do see long-term incredible levels of consolidation taking place to a scale we've never witnessed before. So 10, 20 years from now, I think the landscape will be completely different in terms of the strength of the major brands. Well, we set up our parent company as Bespoke Hotels because we felt promoting the local hero was one way of building a collection of hotels and yet celebrating the individuality of some of the properties that you put together. And that's kind of held true for us. But interestingly, recently, we've found a number of principals and owners of hotels saying, would you come in and operate hotels on a white label basis for us, but we're going to put an Accor brand or an Indigo brand or some other Hilton Doubletree brand over the top. And if we're paid and we're rewarded and feel that we're doing a decent job, then that's something we'll explore. A couple of people have said, why did it take you so long to finally work out this is the sensible place to be? And they may well be right, but we've had so much fun celebrating the history of British market towns where hotels have always been known by their local name, that to go completely against that and make everything called Malmaison or everything called Hotel du Vin or everything Marriott, we just felt was not the way to go for us, and it suited us to row in a different direction, I suppose.